Hello again, this is SF Giants by Mike coming to you today with another Fate series video. Okay, guys, so I've been going through Fate Zero, and eventually I'll be going through Unlimited Blade Works a second time. I'm just, trying to review, catch things I missed the first time, etc. And honestly, even having watched it already and knowing all the plot twists, I still am very much enjoying a second watch through. So, um, as you can see, I'm very much enamored with this series, and obviously, this series was a very big reason why. Okay, so I just got done, as you might recognize this screenshot from. I just got done with Rin's Adventure yesterday, I believe it was, or maybe Friday night. I'm not sure. Um, and man, I really loved that episode. I remember loving it the first time, but I got to enjoy it even more the second time now that I knew truly who Rin was. I knew Rin was this cute daughter of this powerful mage. I didn't realize she became one of the main protagonists of the next series, Unlimited Blade Works. Now I know in Fate Stay Night, I don't know how she interacts in the other two pathways. I want to say it's Heaven's Fell and Fates. I don't know how big she is. It might be kind of like with Sakura and Ilya and oh yeah, Fate's Saber's main POV. Uh, I don't know how she really fits in there. But I know in Unlimited Blade Works, she's one of the main protagonists, and that really, really, really changed how I saw this episode. All right, for the first thing, all right, so I came away with two main things from this episode, and I'm going to try to stay on point, guys. So if you see me cut off, that's why. All right, so I'm going to take this time also to say there'll be spoilers here. I'm going to be covering Rin's episode a little bit. I'm going to talk about a few of the things that happens. If you're coming to this and somehow haven't seen Fate Zero, specifically episode 10, Rin's Adventure, I'll be spoiling stuff that happens there. I totally not going to try not to spoil things. You have been warned. So okay, so there's two main things that really, really stood out to me. Number one was Rin's sense of heroism, and number two was just really me being amused by the plot armor. And me musing over a few of the things. I'll keep that. I'm gonna try to keep that really brief because it's not that big of a deal. It's more something I found kind of funny on a second watch through. But all right, guys. So the main thing I really, really liked about this, especially going through it a second time, is that versus the rest of the series, this has a totally different tone than the rest of the series. Whereas the rest of the series is kind of tilted towards dark, if not outright dark. This is more kind of just a fun adventure, as it says in the title, Rin's Adventure. Um, excuse me, guys. As it's in the title, it's an adventure. It's kind of fun. I won't say it's lighthearted because it deals with tough stuff, specifically kidnappings and murdering of children. Though I don't know exactly why, but they kept the murder part of it out of it. As you know, let me kind of go over here. As we know, this guy is a serial killer already. I don't even know how old he is. His name is Uru. Uryu. Sorry, I'm butchering the name. Uryu. As we know, this guy kidnaps and kills kids for sport. Um, and this episode didn't really cover any of that, and I'm okay with that because this was kind of a lighter, and I like that about that. In this one, the kids won out. I liked that about this one. I say lighter, but it was good. It was good that for once, everybody got to walk out alive. Um, and the thing that really stood out to me, um, remember I've gone through Zero and Unlimited Blade Works before, and when I was going through Unlimited Blade Works, I was always kind of confused because Rin was trying to run a very logical Holy Grail war. Trying to do things that were logical, be merciless. Obviously, as we know from where Rin was here in Rin's adventure to where she started at the beginning of Fate Stay Night, a lot of bad stuff happens. That has not happened yet here in Rin's adventure. By that point, we. I guess I started this backwards, guys. But at that point, we see some of that stuff had built up some scars on her where she kind of hardened herself a little bit. She'd been a little hardened and whatnot, but it's kind of cool here in Rin's adventure. We got to see her true self, kind of. She is a heroic person, kind of by default. Um, as you see, she's like, wait a minute, these people are something bad's happening to little kids. I want to do something about it. So she goes out there to try to do something about it. And I think we've all met at least one person that's like that. That'll do the right thing, that'll stand up for the little guy, etc. I think we've all met at least one person like that, and it's so great to see that that's how she naturally was. And then again, to see the dichotomy of where she was at the beginning of Fate Stay Night, um, where she kind of hardened herself a little bit. And I remember as I was going through Unlimited Blade Works that I was like, why is she so, I don't want to say soft, but why does she keep flip flopping on this, being merciful to Shiro and wanting to just straight out kill him? Um, and here we got to see that because she is a natural hero. She's a naturally born hero. She has that instincts. She has that drive to protect people, etc. And hold on, I'm kind of reading my script again, which I should be doing anyway. Anyway, that was the coolest part of this episode, was just to see where that was. Um, and I like how that now with this in perspective, I kind of like her growth even more in Unlimited Blade Works. Um, because you get to see that, yeah, she was naturally always heroically inclined, and she gets past some of her hardened heart through that series to kind of become the natural hero. Now, I need to probably watch. I'll get there eventually and rewatch it, and I'll be watching now that I've seen this episode. I'll be watching closely to her actions a little more to see, is that just me projecting now that I've seen Ren's adventure? That she grew past the hardened heart and became a hero again, or did she still kind of have that? I'm sure she still has, even if you say she became a hero, she probably still has some scars, and through that part, still kind of trying to be the cold, hardened person a little bit. The rational, the rational. Oops, sorry. There's Raven made another guest appearance. All right, so moving on. I would not be surprised, just with how she grown, how this is her natural state is kind of towards the hero. I wouldn't be surprised if somewhere along the line in all this fate stuff, I see that she has become a heroic spirit at some point, kind of like Shiro. We know Shiro, that was his undying passion. I see that as being her natural state, but I don't know, even in the Unlimited Blade Works, with her, helping Shiro, and how that ended up as. Um, I don't know if she will do enough to become a heroic spirit, but if she pops up in Fate Grand Order one day, hey, here's Rin Tosaka, I'd be like, yep, okay, there's my girl. I knew she'd get there someday. Because I mean, even if you look at it like, some of these mages weren't exactly combat ready. Well, as you see here, I watch another anime, if you want to call Ruby an anime. I watch another anime where there's a lot of action girls, a lot of girls that are combat ready, and Rin was. She came out there. She didn't just let her servant do all the fighting. She got in there and got mixed up in that stuff too. Okay, so there's kind of my little nutshell of why I liked Rin's adventure, and where I kind of see all the growth and all that good stuff. So now I just want to cover this thing I found kind of amusing. That is her plot armor. All right, so the first time I watched Fate Zero, I did not know Ren may. I didn't know Ren was going to be a main character in Unlimited Blade Works. I didn't know who she was really, tell you the truth. And when you do these prequel things, excuse me, when you do prequels, that means certain characters have definite plot armor. It's not just like I don't know if you guys have ever gone through the Wheel of Time. It's a fictional series by Robert Jordan. Um, a lot of his characters were said to have really strong plot armor. Uh, all the main characters, oh my gosh, they have such strong plot armor. Of course, there was in universe reasons for that, but they'd always come out unscathed, and you could pretty much count on the main characters coming out unscathed. I think of the original characters, the original 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 main characters that left that first village to start their heroic journey, their grand mission or whatever. I think only one died, and I'm not sure how planned out that was. Because if you know, anyway, I won't go too much into the Wheel of Time. That's something that maybe one day I'll make videos on later. Um, okay, so the plot armor. I just found it very amusing that this guy Uryu, again, sorry if I'm pronouncing his name kind of weird. I don't even remember it from the series. I'm looking at what was written online, and Uryu with a accent on it. Not sure how you pronounce it, but this guy. It was just kind of funny to me. I just had the thought that this guy is really lucky things went the way they did for him. Because when you're kicking up against plot armor, crazy stuff can happen. Um, if you want to go to Wheel of Time, there's a bunch of different things that happen. I'm not going to go in there. I'll stick to the one that happens in Limited Blade Works. Where Shiro, he's getting attacked by a servant Lancer. Um, he has no combat ability at this point, and somehow Saber is summoned. Ta-da! Deus Ex Machina. Now, granted, we know why that Deus Ex Machina went off. Um, in that there was a summoning circle there, and he had the catalyst, and that I think he had a strong enough bloodline through his adoptive father to be able to become a master for the Holy Grail War. We know why that Deus Ex Machina went off, but it's still a Deus Ex Machina. Um, Same thing here. You go here is one instance where there was a Deus Ex Machina where that charm didn't really. It started to affect her, but she willpowered her way through it. We know that she's got a strong sense of will. She's stubborn, etc. And I won't belabor this point too much, but we know in fiction, if you have a strong enough sense of willpower, you can power through all kinds of mind control. From anyway, I'm about to pop off 10 different Marvel examples, but we don't need to go there, right? We know that that happens in fiction. So it's a mild Deus Ex Machina, the lowest grade of Deus Ex Machina, but it is a little bit that she got past that. But something else could have happened too, right? Like with her, she could have had there could have been a random summoning circle somewhere because dude just likes to draw them, and she could have summoned her own servant. And of course, again, this is why this is kind of only funny to me. I was thinking, oh man, that would have been so funny because he likes to draw in blood the summoning circles. Uh, It'd have been so funny if she'd have randomly summoned Sun Wukong. If you don't know who Sun Wukong is, he's a Chinese uh, mythological dude that Son Goku, aka Dragon Ball of Dragon Ball fame, is based off of. Um, so obviously, my mind kind of went there. It's like it'd be funny if he ends up showing up, kind of looking like Goku and taking care of business. Just one of those random stray thoughts I had. It's probably not too funny covering it again, but hey. Um, I just really liked that scene. This scene right, oops, this scene right here, where she breaks the bracelet and all that stuff. Um, yeah, so I'm just gonna leave it off there with the plot armor. As I was going through this and as I was watching, it was much more funny. And I can't quite translate that as I'm talking about it. This is my third time trying, and I failed every time. But anyway, guys, thank you so much if you made it this far into the video. Um, I tried to be concise on this one. Let me know how I did. If you made it this far, if you can leave me a like or subscribe or anything like that, that'd be super awesome. And to all of those of you that have been leaving me comments, I really appreciate that. Whether you guys are sharing what you know about the series to help expand what I'm learning about the series, that's awesome. Um, I really appreciate it. I will try to get back to you guys to at least leave a like on your comments like the day of. I've It's just been really crazy at work. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. I appreciate it. One day I'll have an outro, but for now, guys, I'll just have to say have a good evening.